Okay, 11.1 arithmetic sequence. Students will be able to use arithmetic sequences and find arithmetic means. So first up, in arithmetic or arithmetic sequence is a sequence in which each term after the first is found by adding a constant called the common difference. The common difference is also known as D for difference. Okay, so are these first couple arithmetic sequences? Well, let's take a look. The first one, 2, 5, 8, 11. Well, it appears that we are going up by 3 each time. So the answer would be yes, and the common difference is 3. How about this one? Down by 7, down by 7, down by 7. So it looks like we are going down 7 each time. So again, yes, but we're adding a negative number this time, so that is negative 7. How about this one? Up by 1, up by 2, up by 3, up by 4. Well, we are adding some number, and there's a pattern there, but we're not adding the same number every time. So the answer here is no. We could probably still find the next one, right? Add 5, add 6, and so on, but not in an arithmetic sequence. Okay, well, we can use these two formulas. We have the recursive and the explicit. I'll explain what those mean. To find numbers in these sequences or in these patterns. So the first one here is recursive. Notice that this one, an just means the nth term. So for example, a1 is the first term, a2 would be the second, a3 would be the third, and so on and so on and so on. And n minus 1 just means the term before the one that you're looking at. So this is the recursive. This is the explicit. This one is very limited because it only gives us the previous term or the next term. That's all it does. But this one, however, can give us any one. We just put in the number term we're looking for, the common difference, and it kicks out the term we're looking for. So let's write the explicit and recursive formulas here. So I'm going to leave them up here on the screen. The recursive one is simply going to be a sub n equals an minus 1 plus the common difference. Well, what is the common difference? Up by 3, up by 3, up by 3. Common difference is 3, so I just write 3. The explicit is going to be a sub n equals a sub 1, so that's the first term, which is 7, plus n minus 1 times a common difference of 3. And this one we can actually work out a little bit, so let's try it. 3 times n is 3n, and 3 times negative 1 is negative 3, so we really have a 7 plus 3n minus 3, and 7 minus 3 is 4, so really we could simplify this down to 4, just 4 plus 3n. And now that's a lot easier to work with. So what we're saying here is we could just plug in an n, and we would get our, like if we wanted the 10th term, we plug in a 10, it's going to be 30 plus 4, 34. The 10th term is going to be 34. Okay, I want you guys to practice writing these out. Remember to figure out what your common difference is first. And on this one, we can see that it's going down by, looks like it's going down by 10, going down by 10, going down by 10. So the common difference is negative 10. So go ahead and write the explicit and the recursive. And you may want to pause the video because I'm going to put the answers up in just a second. Okay, so the first one would be a sub n equals a sub n minus 1 minus 10. That's the recursive. The explicit would be a sub n equals 17 plus n minus 1 times negative 10. And when you solve that out, you get 27 minus 10n. So you should be able to plug in any number term and get that number back. For example, this is the 4th term. So if I plug in a 4, negative 10 times 4 is negative 40, and negative 40 and 27 make negative 13. And so that'll work for any term now. Okay, so here we have them asking for the 42nd term. Well, in order to do this, we need to first write the explicit formula and then solve it. So let me show you what I mean. The explicit formula is a sub n equals the first term, plus n minus 1 in parentheses times the common difference. What is it? Well, it looks like it's going down by 12, so the common difference is negative 12. So we can solve this out. We get 213 minus 12n plus 12. And 213 plus 12 is 225 minus 12n. Okay, so that's a sub n. And we want the 42nd term, so maybe it's a sub 42 equals 225 minus 12 times 42. And we could probably just plug that in our calculator. And when we do, we get that the 42nd term, written as a sub 42, equals negative 279. Okay, so you got a similar pattern here. You're going to write the explicit and then plug in 42 to find the 42nd term. Your common difference here apparently is just 1, because look, it's going up by 1 every single time. So go ahead and do that on your own. I would pause the video because I'm going to put the answer up in just a second. Okay, here's what the explicit formula should look like initially. You could solve it down to just get n minus 6. So plug in 42, and 42 minus 6 is 36. Alright, let's move on. Now we're ready to talk about the arithmetic mean. Now this is really just an average, like you know, an average ever since junior high or even elementary school. So all we're going to do here is add up the two end numbers, divide by 2, and get the middle number. So for example, the arithmetic mean is simply 84 plus 110 divided by 2. Well, that's 194 divided by 2. And 194 divided by 2 is 97. So that is the arithmetic mean. That's the number that goes between these two numbers. Okay, well, let's do the same thing here, except for we're going to have to find the very middle one first. So 12 plus 48 divided by 2. 12 plus 48 is 60. 60 divided by 2 is 30. So this middle number is 30. Okay, what I want you guys to do is fill in the other two here. You're just adding them up, dividing by 2. So go ahead and do that. I'm going to put the answers up in just a second, so you may want to pause the video while you think about it. Okay, well, I'm going to kind of just do this out loud. 30 plus 12 is 42, and 42 divided by 2 is 21. 30 plus 48 is 78, and 78 divided by 2 is 39. And that's all there is to it. And that's it for 11-1.